Hey everybody, my usual disorienting way of starting one of your lessons here with everything moving. I'm going to move the mic here, get myself set up here. So let's talk about slope and finding slope when they give us a table. All right, this is a little different from a graph. I think the graph is probably the easiest way to find the slope. And we're going to look at two other ways of finding it now that are going to be a little more difficult. But keep in mind as you're doing this that you can always, scratch this out using a graph if it helps you. Okay? So if that's a modification that you have to make, then by all means do that. All right? I know that helps a lot of people. So just a quick review of what slope is. Well, if we got a situation here, your slope is we're looking at how much is it going up or down, depending on what it's doing from left or right. And that is going to be divided by how far is it going over to the right. Well, I know that from this point to this point that it looks like it goes up a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, right? And it goes over, well, it goes from here basically to over here. So what I did is I kind of did this without drawing the triangle, right? And if I want to draw the triangle, I'd just do it like that, right? But I'm purposely not doing that. So we have 5 divided by 2, which simplifies 5 halves, or if you were putting this in equation, you could write it as 2.5, whichever you want. They're both two ways of saying the same thing. So that's how we find slope. All right, it's rise over run. In other words, how much is it changing? And this is, I'm introducing this now. Your rise is your y direction, your run is your x direction. So it's how much is it changing in y versus how much is it changing in x. All right, so let's look at that and how that works with the table. So when they give you the tables, they're usually pretty deliberate about telling you, what's x and what's y, right? So you can see that. And so when we look at this, these are going to be our x values. These right here are our x values. These are our y values. So if we look at how much it changes, we're going to do it almost like what we did when we were doing constant rate of change. So I'm going to look at this, all right? And for x, I'm going to look at it and say, okay, as it's going up here, that was really strange. As it's going up here, each time it's going up positive 2. All right? And this is slope, so this is going to be, it's going to have a constant rate of change all the time. Otherwise, there's no point in talking about slope. So each time it's going up 2. Right? And then if you look at your y, it looks like the y, for every 2 that it's going up, the y is going down 3. It goes from 12 to 3. That's a difference, right? That goes down 3, goes down another 3, goes down another 3. All right? And think about what the story says. The story says the table shows the number of pages this dude has left to read after a certain number of minutes. The points lie on a lie. So naturally, your rate is going to be something that goes down. So now, when we put together what our slope is, it's, you're thinking, well, rise over run. This thing doesn't rise, and there's not really run. No, but it is. Your rise is how much it changes in your y direction versus your run, which is how much it changes in your x. And we know an x and a y for this. So we're going to take this. The change is going to be this number we figured out here. So changes, consistently changes and goes down 3. So he reads 3 pages, right? And then for every 2 minutes, right? And so our slope is going to be negative 3 halves. All right, the points lie on a line, and find the slope of the line. And all they're saying when they're saying the points lie on a line is that this is, it makes a linear relationship with it. It makes a line, all right? And we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go on as well. So negative 3 halves is our slope. Let's look at these right here. So these, they don't give you a story. It's just a matter of looking at it. And so again, you're gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna do what I did last time, and I'm gonna make this big. So we're gonna go from negative 1 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 5. What's happening each time there? Well, every time it's going up 2. And then from here, negative 2 to 0, all right? And then 0 to 2, and then 2 to 4. For each interval, that's also going up 2. So it's my change in y over my change in x. So my change in y is this first number here, so that's 2, and it's positive. And then it's positive 2 for that. And 2 divided by 2, any number divided by itself is always 1. Positive divided by a positive gives you positive, so my slope is 1. All right, let's take a look at this next one right here. So what's going on here? Well, negative 2 to 3 looks like it's going up, 3 to 8, 8 to 13. Each time, it looks like it's going up 5 each time, right? So my interval is plus 5, and then my y, it looks like from negative 2 to negative 1, well, it looks like it went up 1. Same there, negative 1 to 0, it went up 1, 0 to 1, it went up 1. So each of these, my interval is plus 1. So I have my rise over my run, which is the same thing as saying my change in my y over my change in my x. Well, my change in my y is this right here, so it's 1 over 5. So my slope is 1/5 on this one. And I'll just write slope. All right, this last example over here, and then we'll be done. Same thing. X looks like it is going up each time, and each time it looks like it's going up 3. It's because negative 1 to 2 is a change of 3. 2 to 5 is a change of positive 3. 5 to 8 is a change of positive 3. Now here, for my y, I'm going from 3 to negative 1. So that's going down. You're going from a positive to a negative, and you're going down 4. So I'm going to call it negative 4. Negative 1 to negative 5, you're still going down. You're going down 4, and it should continue at the same rate. And so my change here is negative 4. So rise over run, which is my change in y over change in x. And I hope you're really noticing my language here and the fact that I'm writing this out each time like this. I really want this to sink in. So my change in y is this number right here, so negative 4. And then my change in x is that guy right there, which is 3. So that's going to give me negative 4/3, and it's going to keep the negative sign because it's a negative over a positive. And that is my slope for this one. So of these 3, it looks like, if I shrink this down, of these 3, it looks like this one right here is the only one that has a negative slope. So that means that whatever it looks like, if we graphed it, it's gonna go in this direction, all right? Whereas these 2 right here are gonna look more like something that goes up. All right, so hopefully that's helping you out a little bit. And the last lesson in this is going to be how do we do this just if they give us a couple of points. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this one was a little shorter than the last 2.